Good evening, everyone. It's called a 5-word review. And tonight the movie I'm going to review is Predators. I saw this a couple days ago, the same day I saw Eclipse, and I'm going to try to do this 5-word review a little bit differently. Maybe I'll change the style up permanently if you guys like it, if you think this is better. What I'm going to do is just say all of the good things about the movie for the first half. The second part, I'm going to accumulate all the bad things I had with the movie, all the problems I had with it, and then finally I'll just give you 5 words at the end that fit those two categories. And maybe I'll actually end up changing my words along the way because of what I do. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Predators. The first thing that stuck out to me, because I already knew how the movie was going to open, and it is a very exciting intro. As soon as the title pops up after this very short intro, and then we're introduced to the characters one by one. The title, the cinematography, and the soundtrack are all very classic feeling. They're very in-your-face kind of original sci-fi adventure movies that really reminded me of maybe a Jurassic Park or Star Wars. It's kind of hard thing to describe. Just the soundtrack was something that actually stuck out. Whereas in most B movie, I'm going to call Predators a B movie. In most B movies these days, especially the action movies, the soundtrack is not going to be orchestrated or symphonic. It's going to be like electric guitar or like actual copyrighted music. But for Predators, they actually go back to that classic, dark, ominous feeling that only really symphonic or orchestral music can give you. So, first of all, something I want to point out is just the feeling, the presentation of the movie as it opens up, and as most of the movie goes along. It just feels very classic, and that really held my attention. It kind of gave me a warm feeling, like, hey, I haven't seen a movie that feels like this in a long time. Secondly, the acting is awesome, just great. I mean, nothing groundbreaking, but Adrien Brody, for one, is amazing. He's obviously usually known for his more dramatic roles, and in here it is a dramatic role, but it's the kick-ass action star role, and he does it very well, which is really impressive. Also, the guy playing Machete, I don't know his name, the Lawrence Fishburne's character, who he's not in here for very long, but he does a great job with his character, and it's very interesting what he does with it. Everyone all around, there are a few actors in there who I'd actually never seen before, and they also have had really great screen time. Realistic is something I want to use to describe the acting in this movie. The way the characters react to the situation, the fact when they learn that they're on an alien planet, and when they discover that they're being hunted, they aren't stupid about it. They aren't over the top or overly dramatic about it. They're just realistic, and I think that if this were a given situation with these characters, because these are all of the characters in this movie are either like hunters or convicts or ex-military men, so for the type of characters that were dropped into the situation, I thought that if this situation were real, they all acted very realistically, and I think those performances really carry a lot of the film. It's very entertaining visually and obviously audibly, as I said before, but the acting is just really great, and it carries a lot of the film, especially in the slow parts where there isn't much fighting or action happening. Something I probably should have said first is that there's no prologue to this movie. You are, excuse the pun, dropped in to the movie just as these characters are. And you get no prologue of who they are, or what their background is, or how they know each other, if they know each other. You just dropped in and you don't know anything. But I think that works really well because you know as much as they do, and it really puts you in the mindset that they have. So, no prologue. Was it an excuse to make the movie simpler? Maybe, but it worked really well. A couple other simpler ideas for my pros for this movie. Great special effects, great fight scenes, a few twists that were actually hard to call. I'm just going to move on to my cons. I'm not sure what else I can say. There's a part, once Lawrence Fishburne is introduced, I would say that section, the whole section revolving around him, is the worst part of the movie. And I don't mean his character is bad. He has a great character and he plays it well, but just what's going on in the movie is very boring. And the whole movie, except for that one segment with Lawrence Fishburne, the whole movie is, let's find out where we are and let's find out how to get off of this. It's just progression, progression, progression. There's no stupid dilly-dallying like Eclipse or any of the Twilight movies where there was literally no action until the very end. In here, it is... the whole movie is just action, trying to get something done, except for this segment, and that's probably why it felt so bad. I won't say bad. I guess boring for me. And it's not a bad part of the movie. It's not poorly made or anything. It's just slow because the whole movie's it keeps you on the edge of your seat until this point, and then it just lulls off. And when it picks back up, it kind of took me a few minutes to get back into the feel of, okay, this is an action movie and I should be excited again. So, it's kind of a late middle section. So, poor late middle section. The ending, nothing phenomenal. It is, I guess, predictable, but it's still a great ending. Very entertaining, I think that's what matters. So my 5 words, very quickly. First one is different, and by this I mean that it's a B movie, but it's different. It's crafted differently. It feels kind of classic. It feels old school, and I really like that. And second word is well crafted. Same thing. Good writing, great casting, really awesome progression that is almost never boring. My third word is explosive, because the action scenes are really great in this and highly entertaining. My fourth word is self-aware, because I think the director knew when you make a movie like Predators, it's really hard for, I would actually say it's impossible for it to be an A-listing movie. This is going to be a B movie no matter how you make it or no matter who makes it. And it's self-aware in that aspect. I really think the director and the writers knew what they were getting themselves into, and they realized that this was going to be a B movie. And so they didn't try to overdo anything. They just knew exactly what they were going to get, and they got the best out of what they had. And my fifth word is really my only bad word. It's nothing special. A really good way of describing this movie is that it's an amazing B movie. I mean, you have the B movie scale and then the A movie scale, and if you're in the B movie scale, you simply can't get to the A movie scale. It's impossible. But for the B movie scale, which is below A listing, I would say, this is at the very highest end of the B movie scale. This is a great B movie. It's very entertaining, and yeah, those would be my 5 words. Different, well-crafted, explosive, self-aware, but nothing special. I know I've kind of been cheating on my words. They're not really words, they're phrases or 2 words sometimes. Sorry about that. So I have another review and potentially another video to just put up. Well, I'm gonna just be done. Predators, absolutely worth your money.
How do we kill them? However you can.